Skoll and Hati, two wolves, no armor, no prophecy sworn to any god, no supernatural power beyond one thing: pure, relentless speed. Every single day since the first morning of the world, one of them chases the sun across the sky, the other hunts the moon through the night. They have never stopped. They have never slept. They have never been distracted by anything in the 9 worlds. Here's what that actually means. Every sunrise you've ever seen is a wolf falling slightly behind. Every sunset is the sun buying itself a few more hours. And every solar eclipse, every time the sky goes dark in the middle of the afternoon, that's Skoll. Getting close. Close enough to feel the heat. Close enough that the birds go quiet. They are sons of Fenrir, grandsons of Loki. They were born for one purpose. They haven't failed at it for a single day since the world began. At Ragnarok, they finally catch their prey. The sun goes dark. The moon disappears. 2 wolves. That's all it takes to end the world. Real quick, most of you watching right now aren't subscribed, and that's fine, but if you're enjoying this, just hit subscribe and like. It's free, takes a second, and honestly it helps more than you think. Alright, back to it. Fenrir, the wolf the gods were too terrified to kill, so they did something worse. They lied to him. The prophecy was clear. Fenrir would swallow Odin at the end of the world. So the gods commissioned the dwarves to forge a chain. Not iron, he'd already snapped iron. Not steel, something invisible, made from things that don't exist. The sound of a cat's footstep, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the breath of a fish, the spittle of a bird. 6 impossible things, 1 unbreakable ribbon. Fenrir agreed to be bound, but only if a god would place a hand inside his mouth as a guarantee. Tyr volunteered. The gods bound Fenrir, then broke the agreement. Fenrir bit Tyr's hand off at the wrist. He has been chained since. He will break free at Ragnarok. He will find Odin, and the prophecy will finish what the gods spent everything trying to prevent. They didn't stop it. They just postponed it. Jormungandr, the world's serpent, cast into the ocean by Odin himself, who threw it there as an infant because the prophecy scared him too much to let it stay. It grew. Not for a century, not for a millennium. It grew until its body encircled the entire ocean floor, until its head found its own tail, and bit down. That circle is the boundary of the known world. The ocean you picture when you think of the ocean is not water. It's the space this serpent occupies. At Ragnarok, Thor faces it. He kills it. 9 steps later, he collapses, killed by the venom of an animal he already defeated. He never stood a chance. Neither does the world when the serpent finally releases its tail, because the moment it lets go, the boundary of everything collapses. The oceans swallow the land, the circle breaks, the world ends. One serpent, holding everything together by biting itself. The moment it stops, so does the world. Garm. Most people have never heard this name. That's exactly the point. He doesn't need fame, he has a job. Garm sits at the mouth of Gnipa-Hellir, the cave at the entrance to the realm of the dead. Every soul that has ever died has passed him. Every warrior, every king, every child. He is described in the old texts in a single phrase, drenched in blood. Not from battle, not from wounds, from the eternity of standing at the threshold between the living and everyone they've ever lost. You don't negotiate with Garm. You don't trick him. You don't bribe him with silver or sacrifice. There is no story in the Norse tradition of anyone escaping past Garm who wasn't supposed to. He is simply there, has always been there, will be there when you arrive. At Ragnarok, his chain breaks. He fights Tyr, god of law and single combat. They kill each other. One god, one hound. Equal. Which tells you something important about what kind of animal the Norse believed was worthy of killing a deity. Not a monster, a dog that never left his post. Sleipnir. Okay, now my personal favorite, and I'm fairly certain he's about to become yours too. 8 legs, 1 body, the fastest creature in all 9 worlds. Sleipnir can run over land, over sea, through the air, and straight into hell itself. No gate, no ritual, no permission needed. There is no boundary in the Norse cosmos that Sleipnir cannot cross. He belongs to Odin, carries him between worlds like nothing else could. But here's the part that will make you stop and read it twice. Sleipnir's mother is Loki. Not Loki performing a spell, not Loki in disguise. Loki shapeshifted into a mare, was courted by a stallion named Svadilfari, became pregnant, and gave birth to a gray foal with 8 legs. Then offered the foal to Odin as a gift. The most extraordinary horse in the history of all mythologies, born from a shape-shifting god who temporarily became a mare and got pregnant. The origin is completely absurd. The result is the greatest creature ever to carry a god across the 9 worlds. Huginn and Muninn, 2 ravens. Every morning, before the light has fully risen, they leave Odin's shoulders and scatter across the 9 worlds. They fly over every battlefield, every court, every secret meeting, every grave. By nightfall, they return. They perch on Odin's shoulders and whisper everything they saw directly into his ears. Their names are not names the way you'd name a pet. Huginn means thought. Muninn means memory. Odin himself said, and the old texts record this directly, that he fears losing Huginn. But he fears losing Muninn more, because losing the ability to think is a wound that can heal. Losing memory is losing everything you are. A god whose entire dominion over knowledge, war, and wisdom rests on 2 birds choosing to come back each night. On the nights they return late, Odin waits. He doesn't send messengers, he doesn't cast spells, he just waits. Because without them, he sees nothing, knows nothing. 2 ravens, the entire intelligence of the most powerful god in the 9 worlds. Ratatoskr, a squirrel, the smallest creature in all 9 worlds, and arguably the most consequential. Ratatoskr lives on Yggdrasil, the world tree. He runs up and down the trunk all day, every day. At the roots, Nidhogg, the ancient dragon who has gnawed at the tree since the beginning of time. At the crown, a nameless eagle of tremendous power who has watched the 9 worlds since before memory. These 2 despise each other with a fury that has no beginning. And Ratatoskr carries their messages back and forth between them. Except he doesn't deliver them accurately. He embellishes, he exaggerates, he adds details that were never there. The dragon says something threatening. By the time Ratatoskr reaches the eagle, it's an insult. The eagle responds. By the time Ratatoskr descends, it's a declaration of war. The cosmic conflict that vibrates through the world tree every day is partly the work of a squirrel who cannot help himself. The 9 worlds, destabilized daily by a rodent. Nidhogg, the creature that was here before the gods, before the worlds, before the first breath of anything. At the lowest root of Yggdrasil, deeper than hell, deeper than any world the Norse ever named, a dragon has been chewing. Since the first day, without stopping, without reason, without malice, just chewing. The root he gnaws is the same root that holds the 9 worlds in place. Every god who feasted in Asgard did so on borrowed time. Every hero who fought for glory stood above something that was slowly eating the floor. At Ragnarok, everything burns. The gods die. The worlds collapse. Nidhogg survives. He flies out from the destruction on dark wings, carrying the bodies of murderers and oathbreakers into whatever comes next. He was here before the beginning. He will be here after the end. The Norse built their entire mythology, their gods, their heroes, their concept of fate and glory, on top of a creature that was always trying to bring it all down. And it never stopped. Not once.